So for those who have played Minecraft Dungeon, tell me your choice of weapons when playing this game. For me, I have a bow that not only explodes on impact, but also releases poisonous gas, along with the ability to slow NPCs down and create a vortex. I'm pretty OP at the moment. So I was going to start this review off by saying that I'm not really into the main Minecraft game, though I've played a bit of it, but while going back to gather more gameplay for this review, something changed, something big happened, and it made me realize something. So I was on adventure mode, which I'll get to later in the video on those different modes for the game, and I had an overpowered bow that kept blasting through a ton of enemies, and for the longest time I surely thought nothing could beat this bow, so much so that I didn't break it down to spend points on other weapons to make me even stronger for fear of losing this fantastic bow that made me insanely powerful. After battling my way through the dungeon with admittedly some mishaps, I finally reached the boss, and let's say it didn't really go well. I was overwhelmed, overpowered, and pretty much too weak, despite the power level rating system saying that I was strong enough to beat this dungeon. So what I did next was go into my inventory and see what weapons I had and try to make a new build, try something else. Through some different combinations of artifacts and gears, I made an even more powerful build and admittedly died at first, but I was back with vengeance and plowed through my enemies. I was having so much fun, so much that I actually cheered out loud, which I haven't done that in a long time with the game. The game was that fun. And it was at this moment right here when I died, when I was struck down in Minecraft Dungeons, it hit me. Minecraft Dungeons is fantastic. And in this video you're gonna find out why it's fantastic, what problems I actually do still have with the game, and if you should buy it on the Nintendo Switch. So Minecraft Dungeon is a top-down hack and slash RPG with loot mechanics that you can either play by yourself or join up with friends in multiplayer co-op. Again, this is why you should not record 7 o'clock in the morning. Oh, and you shouldn't have a sprained back too, that too. When you start a new game, you'll be treated with some entertaining cutscenes that tell a story of a villager stumbling upon a magic cube that practically makes him go insane with power. Now it's up to you to not only travel across different areas of the world that include farms, swamps, dungeons, and castles and more, but defeat this madman and save the world. But the story really takes a backseat in Minecraft Dungeons with a small story cutscene in the beginning of each level to keep you up to date, which is good because the real focus of Minecraft Dungeon is not the story but the gameplay. The game's first level serves as a tutorial, and it does a really good job of explaining the basics of the game. In Minecraft Dungeons you have two types of gear. You have artifacts, which can range from summoning a llama or a bat to a giant explosion, or special arrows that can be paired with different kind of bows that have different kind of effects that can vary depending on which kind of bow you actually have. And then you have your regular weapons, your maces, your swords, your staffs, and other basic weapons. All these weapons and artifacts have varying rarities that range from common to unique to rare, with the rare weapons and armor containing extra abilities that make you even more powerful. Like my poisonous staff that makes poison gas clouds whenever I hit an enemy. Each of these weapons have different power, ammo range, and speed, which will fit to whatever playstyle you want to play as. And on top of that, you have enchantments, which this is where things get pretty crazy. So whenever you're slashing up enemies like endermans and zombies and the occasional cow that drops regenerating items from time to time, you gain skill points as you level up, and you can put them into weapons that transform your weapons into totally different monsters. Just to throw out some examples, you have one where you collect souls of your defeated enemies, which end up filling up a gauge that heals you for a portion of your health whenever you gather those souls. Or the powerful enchantment that makes it so when you roll you leave a trail of fire behind. There are so many enchantments, and pairing them up with different artifacts or weapons that make you feel really powerful. This gameplay heavily plays into the power fantasy. Though if I had anything to add, I would like to see some sort of loadout mechanic and inventory chest added in. This is because this game gives a lot of different kind of gears and enchantments that lets you create these roles. For instance, in multiplayer I equipped a mace that lets me heal. I can't say heal today for some reason. I meant heal. It lets me heal nearby allies when I attack enemies. As player 2 didn't have much of a strong loadout, that's broken English right there. Recording's not going too well right now. But you know what, we're gonna keep it in anyways. What I meant was, as player 2 didn't have strong gear equipped, my healing helped them stay alive. I was essentially their healer. There are other gears and enchantments that serve the purpose of a tank and a DPS too. I mean, not only that, but it would be cool just to keep your weapons in the stash or in a loadout so you can use them later. Now, speaking of multiplayer, unfortunately it seems that Minecraft Dungeons has no matchmaking. According to the devs, Minecraft Dungeons is designed to be played together with your friends, either on a comfy couch or in a comfy online session, which, if I'm being honest, that's kind of dumb. This game is perfect for matchmaking, and it would be more fun if those people who didn't have people to play with would be able to play with randoms, like like me. Now after all of this, you may be thinking that this game is probably really easy, right? I mean, it's Minecraft, it's a kid's game, it's based on a kid's game, it's probably really easy for the kids. Well, you might be kinda wrong there, because unlike Diablo where you can just ram through a ton of enemies, you can't here. Well, not exactly anyways, because even if you have the most broken build, there are definitely different enemy types that can stop you, like ones that have poison gas, or things that stick you in spots, or ghosts that build fires that will set you on fire, and if you don't roll out in time, you can take a lot of damage. They can very much kill you if you're not careful. This is all backed up to a tier system akin to Diablo. Your power level is based on your gear, which will indicate if you're powerful enough or not, and sometimes with enough skill you can play through some of the higher difficulties where enemies have larger numbers and more health, but more often than not it's wise to stick to the recommended level if you're not playing on default. Now for those who are wondering what default is, Minecraft Dungeon has 3 modes: Default, Adventure, and Apocalypse, and each one the higher you go has different loot, better loot drops, and have more powerful enemies that have enchantments with different abilities that shake up the gameplay and make it more difficult for you. Now I've been gushing about this game for a while now, but it's not perfect. As I mentioned before, the game doesn't have matchmaking, but there are other problems that don't have to do with gameplay design. When in multiplayer, both while in capturing gameplay for this game and on the TV out in the living room, there is massive lag. When you're solo, it's completely fine, but if you're in a party, the game lags so much that it's pretty annoying and kind of distracting. Another problem I saw people having as well as me is that sometimes when you sign out of your Microsoft account on the game, which is how you play online with the game, you'll get stuck on an infinite loading screen. Now I found a workaround, which is simply putting the Nintendo Switch in airplane mode, which seems to fix it, but this is a huge problem for people who play online with other people. The loading screen also seems to lag for some odd reason, which is really weird. Now the environment can be a pain to work around also, as sometimes it's not really too clear on what level of ground you're on based on the colors that they use. Sometimes they can blend together, making it difficult to navigate through the level. Now this didn't happen too often, but there were times where I kind of fell off the board, or I kind of missed a step, or I couldn't get around, or I was a bit confused. I mean, either that or I'm just stupid. Now aside from those complaints and problems with the game and some features that I wish they had, like a stash and loadout, this game is very fun when you're not falling down into a pit. But seeing as I play this on the Nintendo Switch, you have 2 modes, portable and docked. I personally didn't notice much of a difference, but I do have to say I enjoyed portable mode better. Picking up the Nintendo Switch and hopping into a game while I'm having static shock on the TV was a fantastic time, and the game played great as long as I wasn't in multiplayer. And I'm sure on PC, PS4, and Xbox One it runs better, but I like it on the Nintendo Switch because you have that portable mode, and it doesn't look bad in portable either. This game being a co-op game also lets you play with other people out on the go, which by the way, this game doesn't have any Nintendo Switch centric features if you're wondering. So should you buy Minecraft Dungeons on the Nintendo Switch? Well, if you like games like Diablo or dungeon crawlers, or you like the gameplay trailer that you saw in any of the trailers, I think yeah, you should buy it. It was only $25, and I'd say I'm fully satisfied with this purchase, and even further than that, I'm glad I bought this game. Now it's not perfect and it didn't reinvent the wheel, but it's entertaining, it has a ton of customization, and it's rewarding you for playing the game, unlike, Division. I'm giving Minecraft Dungeons an 8.5 out of 10, and I think you should definitely pick it up if you're interested. And honestly, I think if you have a Nintendo Switch, pick it up on the Nintendo Switch because you have that portable mode and you can take it anywhere. But you know what? These are just my thoughts. Tell me yours. Did you enjoy Minecraft Dungeons or not? And after this review, are you going to buy this game if you haven't already? Tell me your thoughts in the comment section below, and if you enjoyed this Minecraft Dungeon Switch review, subscribe for more Nintendo Switch reviews. Thanks for watching, guys. Stay safe, stay charged,